When growing up, my daughter was a competitive swimmer. She started around the age of 5 and continued until her mid-20s. She loved the sport. It was not only a team sport, but mostly it was a personal sport. You were always racing yourself. And I found it interesting that she could swim a race and come in first place. But if she didn't make her best time, in her mind, she didn't win. The ribbon didn't mean anything. If she came in last place, but she ended up making her best time because she was swimming with more elite swimmers, she was excited. And I think that as she progressed and aged, it became harder and harder to hit the standards. She would chasing not seconds, but a tenth of a second. But it was always the same. The personal best was better than what place she came in that heat. Now, if you're not familiar with swim, one of the things they do when you line up your swimmers is they place them in heats. So if you have 20 girls swimming and the pool has, let's say, 4 lanes, you'll have 5 heats. And they stack the heats from the slowest to the fastest. So heat 1 will be your slower swimmers, and the last heat will be your fastest swimmers. They're all swimming the same race, but they're all chasing their personal best time. But some may swim, may win heat 1, but still not win the overall event. It's an interesting lineup. When my daughter would arrive at the competitions, we would check to see what heat she was in, and was she going to be the fastest in the heat or the slowest in the heat? In other words, was she put with swimmers that were slower than her or swimmers that were faster with her? Now, her goal, and she was a very disciplined swimmer, was always to get her personal best time. But there was a biological piece there that over time I started noticing a trend. If she was placed in a slower heat as the fastest swimmer, she most likely was not going to take any time off or make a personal best because she wasn't being propelled by the group. If she was put in a faster heat, we usually got, or she usually got, her personal best time. You know, I'm a swim mom. When I sat in the stands and say we got, that's a terrible thing. She did the work. Yes, I drove her to practices. Yes, I had the cool snacks. Yes, I kept up with all of her times. But at the end of the day, she did the work. One of the things that was fascinating to me is that if she was the slowest swimmer in a heat, she would most likely take some time off. And so, whenever we were swimming in competitions in which she was chasing a standard to go to the next level, I always hoped she would be in a heat in which she was the slowest. Why I'm bringing this up is because we are social creatures. We are automatically linked to the people around us, whether we want to be or not. It is biological that we move with our tribe. It is biological that we move as a group. There's been amazing studies done that indicate that if you sit around people who perform lower than you, your performance over time will drop. And if you sit around people who perform higher than you, your performance will rise. What we know is that those high standards create that healthy discomfort, that as we call it, eustress, and that's spelled EUSTRESS. That's positive stress that propels us to be better. And with a growth mindset, that positive stress propels us to be better, and we actually enjoy it. It may be discomfort, but it also, when we hit our goal, we get a huge dopamine hit. How we surround ourselves with the people in our groups is extremely important. It's important for our kids. It's important for us as parents. It's important for us as professionals because you want to be in environments that stretch you. If you're in an environment where the status quo then is everyone's just doing the bare minimum, you are going to fall to that, even if in other environments you were brilliant, you were creative, you were always taking risk. Stagnancy will kill that motivation and innovation. Stagnancy is more of a threat to a classroom, to a job, than really anything. Just being happy to maintain can be what sucks the life out of an organization and a team. Because the brain does like predictability, but it also likes novelty. It does like challenge. And when you're surrounded with people who get excited about a challenge and who are risk takers, that ignites a team creativity, a team movement, a team energy. A simple way to say this, which is one of my favorite sayings, is sit at the table with warriors. The conversation is different. Don't sit with people who are naysayers. Don't sit with people who are telling you it can't be done. They get in the way of those of us who are doing the work, showing it can be done. And also understand that when you join a team, if you are bringing that high energy, if you are one of the only ones who are wanting to innovate and create, and everyone else does not, it may end up dampening your spirit. Not because you're weak, not because you don't have what it takes, but because we are social creatures and biological. We are driven to connect with each other, and that even means matching their speed, matching their energy. Anyways, think about this. Use this when you talk to your teens as they're choosing their friends. Use it when you're looking at who you're sitting with if you're a teacher. At lunch, if you're sitting with other teachers who are negative about the school and negative about children, it's going to start rubbing off on you. We are not impervious to the negativity. It starts to become our new standard. So sit with people who are crazy. Sit with people who have wild ideas. Sit with people who say, I wonder what would happen if, and challenge yourself. Be uncomfortable. Don't click to the dangerous phrase of, this is what we've always done. Look at what could be created. Sit with those who are challenging you right outside of your comfort zone, because that's where growth lies. Talk to you soon.